What's up, guys? We are here for episode 3 of Kart Talk, and not only are we blessed by the appearance of Sammy D and Tabor per usual, but we also have some members of the Rundown community joining us, so I'll have you guys each introduce yourselves. But first off, Tabor, Sammy, thanks for joining us. I love, this is a highlight of my week. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, glad to be here. Studfit. It's always fun having the rundown and then following up with Kart Life. Sometimes Kart Life is even better, just because we have guests. We have guests on the show. We can just talk about what I say.
But thanks for the play.
Kart Life is better too.
Make sure to check out
Kart Talk is up there.
Yeah, make sure to check out Kart Life Talk at some point.
This whole thing is just a big Kart Life plug, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. Pretty much. I stole your name, but we do have some other members. I'd like for them to just introduce themselves with their name, where they're from, and then just kind of an icebreaker question of what's your favorite driver, kart, and glider from an aesthetic. So your favorite looking driver, kart, and glider. So we'll start with Larry. Larry, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Yeah, hi, I'm Larry98. I'm from Germany. I play the game since the beginning, and my favorite drivers are Bowser Santa, then Fast Frank, and Boris Carousel.
Very nice. And the Fast Franks there representing Germany, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a Fast Frank car, is what you're saying. Very nice.
No.
Geeves, introduce yourself.
Geeves, actually, my second time here, and I've been playing from the beginning again. I live outside Chicago, and again, great to be here and be a part of this community. My favorite driver, aesthetically, I love Rosalina Swimwear.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
let's be excited.
But if she had like Bomb Cannon, I would still love it. So
So picking between that, if you had to pick between Rosalina Swimwear and Rosalina Aurora. Aurora is a lot of fan favorites aesthetically.
Yeah,
you like Swimwear over
the
Aurora?
Rosalina character, she just looks great in everything, I thought,
Yeah. Don't forget about Fire.
Except for maybe the Halloween one. Wasn't too keen on that one.
Ooh, okay.
As for kart, my favorite one actually is the P-Wing from back a while ago. It just looks so slick.
Yeah.
And I think it was one...
It's a classic.
Was it a commemorative one? I can't remember. But it just looks so slick. And I think my favorite glider is... I like the Strawberry Donut. I don't know why.
Wow.
I just like it.
I like it.
Actually,
But what about the glider? We know we like to eat, but what about the glider?
no, I just think it's I don't know.
Would you like to share strawberry donuts on a date with Rosa Swimwear in a Pee-wee?
Wow. That's a great question. That's like
if your wife gave you a pass.
All right, I gotta go really quick. Thanks for having me on. It's great to be here.
Yeah, thanks again for coming back. You're the only familiar face outside of the usuals. So thanks again, Geeves. Appreciate you coming. Now we'll go down under. AussieKart, tell us a little bit about where you are and some of your favorite items.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. So obviously by the name, down from Australia, Sydney, Australia. Day one player. Big Mario Kart fan, starting at Mario Kart 64. A lot of 8 Deluxe. Absolutely loved it. Rode my Switch into the ground, basically. And then, obviously, day one kart player. Self-confessed whale. So, do love buying a pack. Love spending some cash on the game. Keep it going. Big Lakitu Party Time fan. Driver.
Yeah.
Loved him from out. Just great. And obviously, Lucky 7 helps for actually good to use. Probably because it was from the Sydney tour. I love the Jet Cruiser as the kart. Although it was hard aesthetically, I like the purple bunny. I know Sammy is just a hater of the purple bunny, but I think because it drives so well, it's starting to look better on screen for me. And glider, cheap masks. Always been a fan. I thought it was a cool glider from the start. It's getting a lot of use as well, so it's one that I see a lot at the moment. Level 7 double uncap as well, so it is getting plenty of use in my inventory, and maybe that was because I just liked the look originally that I was pumping tickets into it. So yeah, that's my drives karts and gliders. But yeah, thanks for having me again, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. And last but not least, Big Smitty. Tell us a little bit about where you're from and some of your favorite aesthetic-looking items.
Yeah, I'm from Montana, originally from the Northwest, back in Oregon.
Nice.
I've been playing Mario Kart since Super Nintendo. My older siblings had it. N64 was really my day. Played that through middle school, college, and continue to play it with some variations on the gameplay that involve some beverages occasionally. As far as Mario Kart Tour, I'm a pandemic player. I started in the end, right when multiplayer started. A lot of my friends started playing it right around that time, so we got a way for us to keep in touch.
Nice.
And then a couple of us, just ultra competitive types, just carried it through, and we're still grinding every day. So my favorite aesthetically would be one of the worst skills, but Gold Dry Bowser. It just looks so cool. And I had him early, and I feel like I pulled him so many times. That was one of my first of the newer drivers at level 6, and then close to 7 now. My kart would be the off-roader. It looks ridiculous, but it's got such a big hitbox, and it's just pretty cool. It's been almost level 7 for me for a bit, so I like that. And then the planet glider. Anything space. Ooh. I love anything space. Okay. I was so bummed I didn't splurge and get the $20 pack when it came out in, I think, December. But when a couple weeks later, it was a premium challenge.
The premium pack thing.
Card. Yeah. So it was great. So I don't have it at a high level, but hoping for a space tour, holding out.
That's cool. I'm a big astronomy geek too. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You like all the planets, or just some more than others?
All the planets. Okay.
So actually, it's
even the ones we haven't discovered yet.
Those are my favorite, actually. I was always obsessed with Mars for some reason. I think I liked Marvin the Martian. I liked Mars. There was something about Mars that I was really drawn. I wasn't sure if you guys just liked all of them or not, but well, good.
I thought you were obsessed with Uranus. My fault. I thought that was something else.
Wow.
Based on your server the past several days, it sounds like you are.
In case you would hear,
that's a good segue right there.
I gotta go, guys.
We warned Sammy. This might come up, but So I'll kind of provide a little backstory since Tabor brought it up.
Yeah.
So I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. But so we talked a little bit about luck pulling, and oftentimes I think I mentioned that I feel like I have better luck pulling from the throne, pulling from the toilet. So we all kind of tried it in different ways, and we at our own homes and without cameras, and it's been a fact. It is a fact that you will have better friends luck, better pulling luck, all from your toilet. I promise you. So that's
Tabor, as a data guru, how do you assess whether or not that is a fact or not?
Well, the other day, and I posted some of this on Discord, is I wanted to disprove this so we could finally get rid of this piece of conversation from any of the posts. So I got on the toilet, and I had a couple freebies to do from week 2, freebie green pipes. So I was like, let's just do this and show that it's not going to work. The first one, I got like a mushroom glider, 250 coins. I was like, perfect. This is great. I love this. I was actually rooting for like these commons. And then the second pull was green, and I was like, perfect, it's green. And I shot it, and then I saw a star appear, and I was like, wait, no. And I was like, just shut off my phone because I didn't even want to see what was going to go on. And I ended up getting Penguin Luigi.
Wow.
So, and I was like, no.
You can't deny it.
Gosh. Ridiculous.
It's a real thing. Try for yourself. Do your own trial and error. I guarantee you'll have a lot of fun. At the worst case scenario, it'll make a not fun event. Well, probably a not fun event for most people. A more fun event.
I don't know about you. I have a pleasant time every time I'm on the throne. There's no bad vibes there.
Anytime you see Sammy talk about leaning forward, that's what he's really referring to, is just to get a better direction there. All right, hey, back to some Mario Kart Tour.
Yes,
we actually
please.
have a great question. So we got that out of the way, Tabor. You should be glad there. So, Big Smith, you actually submitted a question. I wanted, since you're here with us, I figured we'd just kick it off. So if you could physically... maybe you can ask the question and ask it, and maybe some flavor to it, just because there's gonna be questions. Like, am I physically? We'll get into it, but ask your question.
Yeah, so it's a debate I have with my wife, actually, who's a Gold Pass player a lot. If you could physically just be any Mario Kart character, that's you. From now on, that's
For the
you.
rest of your life?
For the rest of your life. You're this character. You embody this character. You have the special skill of this character. You have the one outfit that you're always in forever. Who would it be? And I don't think there's any argument. We'll see what your opinions are, but it's got to be Sunshine Mario. He is just always on vacation vibes. He's got the shades. He's got the shirt. And most importantly, he's got a giant banana. And I just think that is...
Wow.
That is...
he's well equipped. I like that.
That is what I would be.
What he needs is some dreadlocks. He needs some, just maybe some Rastafarian aspect to him. But I like that. So that's who you're going with.
That's a
I'm going
good
with it.
answer.
Absolutely.
That's a really good answer.
I like that answer. Sammy, tell us, what would be your answer then?
Let me think about it. I know Geeves has a thought. Maybe he can pipe in here, and Tabor as well. But I'm gonna scroll through my inventory and think about this.
Yeah, Geeves, you got the layup. Go for it.
It's a great question, and it's just kind of fun to just talk and mess around with it. And I think there are going to be some people who are disappointed in me, and they know who they are. But mine is Cat Peach. I would love Peach
because
it's just I forgot who posted this. Someone did a TikTok with back some music going. I'm like,
the freeze frame.
That is sweet. Yeah,
it is.
And then in terms of the special skill, I have 2 kids. I would love to just ring a bell and they win away. It's just,
okay. So like the get off me.
Yeah,
bell. I gotcha.
Okay.
But kids also like to chase cats around and try to play with them and pet them.
I'm sure my kids are going to watch this. I love you guys so much. I'm just going to put that out there. Cat
okay,
Peach.
all right.
Imagine your dad as a cat.
Yes. Cat Peach.
I mean, to be a cat, we all know would be great. They sleep. We just got 2 cats, as you guys know, and my lady was like, they're just sleeping all day. And I'm like, yeah, that's what cats do. Haven't you seen Garfield? He just sleeps and eats lasagna.
Right.
That's literally all. So
Cat Peach.
Love it.
I can't say it enough. All right.
Cat Peach.
That's
But
good.
not Cat Toad.
No.
Cat Peach.
No.
Okay. Because she's got the swagger. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. That makes sense. Larry, do you have a driver that you instantly thought of?
I mean, I can only choose Larry, of course.
Larry.
And he's got a kicking skill, too, for a normal.
He
Boomerang,
does.
so it's also a good item.
He's pretty
It is, and
popular in the pipe, too.
Yes, he seems to love me a lot. Yeah, and no one's going to forget your name after you go through this transition. That makes a lot of sense. I like it. AussieKart, what about you, man?
Yeah, I had a bit of a think about it, and I really think I would embody a good white Yoshi. I think that's just where I was thinking. I just think I look big and I look friendly. People would hire me for kids' parties, I think. I think that'd be really fun. The triple mushroom, I'd probably prefer a better skill, but if I'm getting around quick, I think that's okay too. But yeah, he just looks friendly. I'm a big friendly guy. I'm pretty pale, and even for an Australian, very pale. Don't see a lot of sun, it looks like. So, and especially on this white wall, it's just me blending. But yeah, I think white Yoshi. He stood out, and I think that's what my answer would be.
I think actually picking the white wall was even better because you're like a slight shade darker white, which is perfect.
I appreciate. I look a bit tan.
Yeah. No, you and Big Smith are. I wonder who's taller. Aren't you guys both pretty tall? Who's
I'm
taller?
6'4".
Yeah, you got me. I'm 6'3", so yeah, you're just over me.
Ah, very nice. Awesome, Tabor. What would you say?
So, I think I would go to the character that just has no care in the world, and he just has no responsibilities. He doesn't have to worry about life or anything. He just has to live life all the time and just explore. And that would be Baby Mario Koala. He's just adorable, and he just doesn't do anything. He just kind of looks around, and he doesn't have to worry about a mortgage. He doesn't have to worry about bills. He's just got a koala backpack on his back. I mean, it's just awesome. That's the life I want.
Do you have him?
That's good.
Do you have him?
Lives in a great nation, so
No.
obviously amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. AussieKart, that probably makes you proud. I would say this was. There's some of these questions I had to think about. This one was an easy slam dunk for me. It would be Funky Kong, of course. Like to me, that just makes so much sense. You got the big muscles. You're shooting a banana cannon. Forget a giant banana, a cannon full of bananas. You kidding me?
You basically are Funky Kong already.
Well, I'm not there. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. It's a slow progression. AussieKart, for some reason I can't. Oh, there you go. You're back. I wasn't sure. Maybe that. I will say some of the audio and visual stuff. It looks kind of wonky as we're looking at it, but the audience typically sees things much better. Cool.
Yeah. I got an answer. I think I appreciate the men here who have selected a female character because I like to embrace the masculine and the feminine side. And I was thinking originally Taiko Girl. I know that's a little bit cliche because you guys know I'm a super fan of Peach Happy. But I mean, living in Tokyo, being a traditional master of the taiko drum would be cool. But honestly, I think I'm going to pivot to either... Now, if you're Bowser Santa, does that mean you get to actually be Santa Claus also and deliver presents to all the children of the world?
No,
Just a Coinbox.
Be a giant.
You just steal all the
coins.
Yeah, you're just I'm gonna settle on Painter Luigi because I would like to live in Paris and be a master painter. I am an artist, but I would love to ascend to that level that Painter Luigi has reached in his craft.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so we've had some fun. We've broken a lot of ice on these icebreakers. So I figured we'd get right into the thick of it. First off, that first question was from Wade WD about our favorite aesthetic drivers, karts, and gliders. This next question is from ThisBeChris. How much would it impact value if Nintendo changed it so that every time you fired an ice ball or fireball, is there a way that you could make these more valuable skill by maybe adding maybe 2 action counts instead of 1 for the frenzy? And I think this kind of is a part of a general question Tabor and I keep going back and forth about how to... is there anything Nintendo, like when they released the Skills Plus, it really made a big difference in how we rank the skills, or made some skills better like Lucky 7, etc. Is there anything that they can do to fix these kind of over-dominated skills like Ice Flower or Fireball, etc.? What do you think?
I think one of the thoughts that I had is that what I would like is that whenever a fireball or an ice ball hits a wall or hits an object or even hits a character, then it splits into like 2 or 3 other more balls that go off different directions. Because right now you're pretty limited to just this fan of direction whenever you shoot it. When it goes back, you don't know what's going on. But when it goes forward, you pretty much are on a spray, and it'd be nice if it just hit something that it then sprayed again, just to kind of give you more of an area to shoot at.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sammy?
I don't know how to answer that question exactly. I do know that the way they did the frenzies just baffles me. I can't believe they went from 3 to 1.
Shooting 1.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a single ice flower, a single fire flower, it's actually pretty successful usually. You just throw it in front of you, and it'll take out whoever's in front of you. Whereas a green shell single snipe is a little harder to pull off. But then for frenzy, I mean, it would have been so cool if it was just triple over and over, and it would actually be a very powerful frenzy. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I could see like either shooting like 3 in front, or like similar to the green shells where you shoot like bam, bam, bam right in front. Either way would be awesome, but just to shoot 1 just seems so, I don't know.
Maybe they tried it and then they realized it was too powerful and they dialed it down. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Anyone else on the floor want to add anything to that? Any tweaks you'd make to some of the skills? Go ahead, Geeves.
Who asked the question?
This is ThisBeChris.
Okay, so
Philly.
That's a great question, and I actually like his idea of making. I wouldn't change it, but I would make it more valuable in like making it a 2-action, 3-action count. These are skills that are no one likes. Whether it be, with the fireball, ice ball, because it's hard to hit. So I would think with a harder chance to hit something, it should be worth more when you actually connect. Just my idea. And I think, if you don't want to change the aesthetics of the game, I think that's the only way you can make it more valuable and make people actually say, okay, I want that. And it'll,
Yeah, that's a good point. I will say one of the things that was brought up on as a comment on episode 2, one of the watchers, one of the viewers, Dr. Amp, made actually a really good point about Yoshi's Egg, and that a Yoshi's Egg frenzy would be actually a pretty awesome frenzy for if we don't get to use it very often, but like it's a guaranteed hit. It's almost like a red shell, but then also mushrooms come out. It's a very effective frenzy, but we don't think about it very often because there's not really very many great drivers. Could you see any other driver having like a Yoshi Egg skill?
I've done an amazing, not amazing. I've done an insane amount of research on other characters. I've done my wish list, and I'm looking as we speak. I'm looking through my encyclopedia here, and there just aren't a lot of characters it would work for. I got nothing. The egg just seems to be something that has to be limited to Yoshis and Birdos.
But at the same time, they've released some Yoshis that have not had it. Black Yoshi and Blue Yoshi and the others, they just gave it a different skill, which I find is a little odd. But going back to the other thing, and this kind of goes along with the Yoshi Egg. Yoshi Egg is really good because it's like a red shell. It hones in on the target in front of you. It'd be really nice if if the fireball or if the ice ball would do the same thing. Instead of just having this random spray that you're hoping to hit someone, at least one of them have some sort of homing skill to be able to hit somebody.
Yeah, and imagine if Black Birdo had Yoshi's Egg or Birdo Egg or whatever it was, the skill that the other Birdos have.
Cool.
I think that would boost her up, in my opinion, of where she is on the top 20 list, I guess. And I think that kind of leads us into a debate that Tabor and I have had, and Tabor and I are still kind of on the fence about how to approach this. But as we go into, I guess, year 3 after the anniversary, I do think there is some tweaking we might make to the algorithm. And I say we, like it's my algorithm, it's Tabor's algorithm. But there is some discrepancy. I think there's some people that I talk to that say, why aren't all Coinboxers in the top 10? Like they're the best drivers. Why aren't they in the top 10? And I talk to other people, and they're like, hey, why is Black Birdo in the top 10? She's been so clutch, and she has great ranks. And it's funny, we didn't really talk about this on the rundown, but before the rundown started, I said, hey, Tabor, can you do some calculations for me? What would happen if Black Birdo got Coinbox? And he did the math, and he's like, remember what you said, Tabor?
Yeah, it jumps from, I think, 29 all the way to number 1.
Yep.
So, because of the course value, because of everything else, except for her skill. So, I think as we go into, is there a good way to be able to? Is there a better way? I think we get a pretty good indication of how things are ranked, but I'm curious if there's a better way. Is there a better way to tweak something? Is the driver's skill at 25% too high? I mean, we don't want to feel like we're taking a monopoly, or kind of trying to make the decisions ourselves. We want to get some feedback. What are your thoughts, Sammy? I'll start with you.
I think that's something y'all have a good flow with how you're refining it, and Tabor is refining it. I'm sure Tabor's got thoughts on his own that he'll bring into the plan over the coming weeks. So I hesitate to suggest much there, but almost maybe there's a separate list. Maybe it breaks off from one top 10 list, and you have a side list that is some other metric that makes Black Birdo the number 1 driver, makes Pauline Rose the number 3 driver. Something that where the skill's not as weighted, but it is factored more on recent use and ranked use. I don't know.
I know
because you have to pull. We're all pulling from different resources. Like even Tabor will say, you can't just take one tracker or one list. You got to take different ones. So, and Tabor's already got multiple lists going, and so maybe you throw another list in there.
Yeah, Tabor. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit last time, but had you thought more about it? I mean, which are you leaning anyway for year 3?
So the issue, and I've seen this more recently than leading up to this. The issue is that it's really frustrating whenever you see a driver or a kart or a glider who's dominating so many different categories, whether it's on ranked percentage or whether it's on the course coverage value or whatever. All these different categories that I have that lead into the algorithm, they're just dominating every single one. They're like top 3 in so many different categories. But then they have a really bad skill. And then that skill, that alone, is holding it back from actually what it could possibly be. And I know it's a bad skill, and so you want to discount it in some way. But, I hate to see, and that's why all these people are complaining about Black Virgo not being as high as they are, as she is, because she's the best in terms of non-Coinbox overlap. She's the best when it comes to the CCV. She's the best she's up there. I think Peach Explorer is actually number 1. But she's the best in all these different categories, and everybody loves her, and she's using ranked a whole bunch. She's been saving people, but she's really down low because of her skill. And so, I mean, I don't want to change the algorithm to benefit a specific character. That's not what I'm trying to say. We're not trying to, make it so that what we like is on top. That's not what we want to do at all. But at the same time, there needs to be some sort of trade-off. And so I've been actually talking to a couple people that helps me, because right now we have 2 of the categories have to do with ranked. One is the ranked appearances, and the other one is the ranked percentage. And so I was trying to talk to a couple people about trying to combine that into just one category and try to not water it down, but just try to make it so that it's streamlined together. And I did get some good information today from one of the guys that I want to throw at Studfit here sometime soon, just to see what he thinks. But just trying to come up with some different, just not change things just for the sake of change, but change things to see, do things need to change? Is this an adequate list, or are there things that we really need to really investigate, really look at? Is this exactly what we want it to be? And if not, we can change things, because I'm not so set in my ways that I'm just going to be like, nope, this is what I started with. This is what we're going to end with. This is the way it is. I'm happy to be dynamic and all that. And so it's good to have this discussion as well with all of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've been very fortunate that a lot of people have come up and support, the different angles and top 10 lists and stuff that we've had. But, I think at the end of the day, because we've had so much support, it almost gives us that much more responsibility to take care of it. And I think from that perspective, we're always open. That's why we added the hitbox category. And I think, we're open-minded. We're not just saying, hey, this is it. This is like the top 10. If you really want to, it's more fun for us to just talk about and kind of see how things are moving than it is really any practical advice. You have to do this or you have to do that. So for us, it's like it's just more helpful to have a better indication. If we can tweak something, that's great. I think from my perspective, Coinbox overlap was always something I wanted to focus in on. Even when we did our top 10 list, and we had literally here are the tracks that this Coinbox driver has that no other Coinbox driver has. And now it's just we have so many Coinbox drivers, they're just bound to have overlap, and it's so difficult to show. But I don't know. That's one category I think it's worth bringing up. Another one is I think it might even be good to tier some of the skills. So have Coinbox and Boomerang be its own tier, and then have Lucky 7, Giant Banana have its own tier, and then all the other skills. Because I think to your point, Bob-omb Cannon is just so low. I wonder if it was as high as I guess Dash Ring, it probably would be on the top 10. So, hey, maybe we don't have to go to the extreme and, get rid of all the skills, but maybe there's some way that we can maybe not spread them out so far. So, I don't know, just some ideas, and we'd love to get your ideas there. Seeing it in the chats, a lot of people, bodily noises people are making. So, if you see that, if you hear that in the podcast, so apologies here, but
That being said, actually, I also want to just state that we no matter what we do to this algorithm, no matter what we do to change things, hopefully for the better, as Sammy had said already, none of this takes into account your inventory, your levels, your individual playing style, your individual dynamic of how your game is set up. So, I mean, there's always going to be haters out there that says, I don't like this because it doesn't take into account that, I find this driver to be more important to me than, the number one driver in the game that you say. Well, it's because you have them at level 1. It's because that you don't have them at all. It's because of you've really invested into the Kong family or whatever you're doing because that's where you want to be. And I get that. So there's always going to be a little bit of a downfall. And Bam and Gerbs' spreadsheet really helps with that, with your own personal inventory. So I think it's really important to make sure that all of us just not focus on the one tier list, say this is the say all, do all. You just kind of have to look across the spectrum because there's a lot of great resources out there, and I think they're all going to be helpful in a different way.
Yeah, Geeves, any tweaks that you're thinking of?
Back to what I said with just increasing the value of those kind of skills. Like pure examples, Ice Mart. I would like to think everyone has Ice Mart. Is that fair?
I'd probably say 95% of everyone. Yeah.
So if you increase the value of a hit, whether it be more points or actions, you're catering towards that crowd, even the free-to-play. That's why I think it's important to do.
I like it.
You don't want to get free-to-play and gold class guys be like, oh crap, I got another ice character. But when you increase the value of that, I mean, you are catering towards it. I really think Nintendo should cater towards, and I said it last time. I think gold pass. I think that they should be rewarded. Just to keep minutes.
Yeah. I can see by making a character that's more available, make their skill a little bit more appetizing. I think that could help the fan base. I like that idea. How about you, AussieKart?
I think where the algorithm is at works because at the end of the day, if you're going head to head on anything else, you're going to pick Coinbox, Lucky 7, Boomerang, Jumping Up over any of those others. So, like when Peach was high in the rankings, she had so much going for her that had her up there. But once that started getting some, I don't know the exact answer to that.
Yeah.
Greatly in value because
scoring the list
and
water for scoring. And that's what we're all trying to do at the end of the day. If you have the top 10 drivers, all at level 7 double caps, you're going to be winning just about every ranked cup. I don't know if anyone has those 10 drivers that are double caps. That's the idea, And then we can have the conversation on the side and say, well, Blackbirdo deserves the MVP of the year aside from the list because she has such an amazing year, and the conversation goes on from there.
I do think,
because she had such an amazing year.
Go ahead.
And the conversation goes on from there.
I do think, okay. Ozzy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to finish on my point. I think a lot of people will see, they're in 2 ranked cups this week, they should be top of the list. Like, people get so drawn into that ranked. I see them in ranked multiple weeks, Fire Rosa, Baby Koala, and they're like, they should be in the top 10. But that shouldn't be the first assumption, and that's why I think the algorithm works. If you have a look into it, is a factor, but it's not everything. And I think that's crucial that the player base has to look at. Is you might see them. I don't have any of these. Like if you go, I don't have a top shelf this week. That must mean they're really valuable. It's valuable for that week. The next tour comes and it's a new top shelf, and we quickly forget about that. And then there's ACR. Ramifications is just general course, non-city tracks.
I will say,
so,
if you I
wouldn't be making any.
I have to do the rundown, so I get to see it every week, and I'm talking about it, so it kind of ingrains it. But it seems like these new drivers that don't have Coinbox or don't have a great skill, their value peaks, and then it goes right down as all these Coinbox drivers are added to their tracks, and so that peak it's great. And when you're high, like you're crushing ranks, you're doing really well, and then it crashes just so hard. Like a good example would be Peach Wedding. But what I've noticed this year, and it's been very different this year than at any, like just I'm thinking between February and July, it's been very, very obvious that they have been trying to make that peak just eke out a little bit longer by just allowing no Coinbox drivers to be on these paywall tracks. And it seems to me like they're, I don't know, Nintendo's kind of like messing around with it on purpose to make it, like, you could have given any of these to Tuxedo Mario, and like, that would have been like the perfect move for most of us, or give Peach Luigi just one good track, and it would have been phenomenal. But no, it's like they just want to just kind of squeak it out a little bit longer, to the point where we are pulling for Penguin Mario. He is garbage, but we all are like, we want him because we know that this is coming again. It's
you want to ride, yeah, like you want to ride this, like the next 5 months, this wave that he's gonna have, and you know these Pauline Rose and Birdo Black and Cat Toad, Penguin Toad, even those waves might be starting to crash, and then someone else will come in. But for Wales, you have enough tickets generally to ride all of those waves, really, if you pay attention to what's going on. It's the people down lower that, like, they think the new hot driver is going to be it. I mean, even me, like, one of the kind of many disappointments of this tour for me in my game, not in the tour setup, but is that, you know, this year, like, in behind the scenes, I was secretly giving tickets to Black Yoshi to finally get him to level 6 double uncapped. And now that I have him there on 2 ranked tracks, I've got Peach Happy and Ninja Shy Guy, and it's like, it's like, well, am I ever going to have a chance to use him? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
You got to constantly pivot, you know.
Yeah, I will say, because you had brought up Penguin Mario, it was a really interesting pipe during week 1, just because, you know, we had very few new items this tour. Penguin Mario was in pipe 1, and then you had 2 repeat items that were spotlights along with them. So I almost feel like that pipe probably had less people polling on it than any other pipe that we probably ever had, just because it's a 6% pipe. It was 100 pipe. It only had 1 new character. You know, you weren't hoping to get a spotlight. You were hoping to get 1 specific spotlight. And so I don't think a lot of people pulled for that. So that makes me think that Nintendo is going to buff the heck out of Penguin Mario, and it's going to be up there, like Sammy said, probably 5 or 6 months. It's going to have huge value. But as we've already mentioned, a lot of those characters with not a great skill peaks up really fast, even kind of holds its ground for a while. But then when other characters are introduced, especially new coin boxers, new Lucky Sevens, new whatever, it's going to eventually, you know, trickle down. But I think it's going to get buffed really hard soon.
Plus, there's a difference between like a new hot driver that has a big wave for a while that has like triple mushrooms, you know, compared to Ice Flower. I mean, we were just talking about how Ice Flower is one of the most disappointing skills. So, you might be able to ride his wave, but I mean, you're going to be having to grind for double coin, triple coin frenzies only, basically. You know, there's no other helpful frenzies you can get there.
Yeah, and I hear people all the time saying, "Oh, geez, like this." Well, good examples on your server, Sammy. I won't mention who, but they just said, like, I love this rank this week. It's so awesome. We only have 1 Coinbox driver this whole tour or something like that. And I said, hey, that's great. So, like, you know, so you're hoping to get, like, a double coin on DK Pass. And they're like, yeah, I'll probably just get a double coin and move on. I'm like, okay, that seems like not as much fun to me as having a Coinbox and knowing that, like, maybe there's a little bit more. Maybe I can go back in and just squeeze an extra single box out of there. There's something exciting about that.
I know there's a question on our list tonight about items, like new items, and I'm always curious if they could come up with a way to rival the Coinbox and Lucky 7 with new items. So whenever that question hits...
Well, actually, that was the next question. There's kind of 2 parts, but we can start with that one, which is if DeNA calls you, there's like a 2-part. Imagine DeNA is calling you, right, Sammy? They contact you and say... Because, you know, you're on speed dial. Hey, we need a new driver skill. Can you make one up for us? What would you say, and why?
I mean, again, I put some thought into that. Like when I did my character wish list, I had to come up with some items, skills for a few of the drivers. from past games. Of course, there are a lot of skills and items from past Mario Kart games that they have not brought in. So we can put those aside. I think the question is more like new ideas. And I go right to just like the history of the Mario games. And there are a couple things I'll mention. One is, so have all you guys basically played like Mario games other than Mario Kart? Like played, Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey maybe. So you come across the P-switch ever. It's a blue thing. Mario walks into a hidden room and there's a P-switch.
Yep.
It's a round switch on the ground. You stomp on it and a line of coins appears and it unlocks a puzzle that you have to complete. So I think the P-switch could be super cool. The P-wing actually comes from... Mario 3 had the P-wing and the P-switch. The P-wing cart is named after the P-wing item. Fun fact. But
cool.
The P-switch, you could grab that in an item box, and you got it dragging behind you, and bam, your character hits the P-switch, and it forms just like a dash ring, a line of 50 coins right in front of you, and you have to follow the line. And that's what you do in the Mario games. You have to do that literal thing. And I was trying to think of things that you could do that involve coins, and could rival the Coinbox. I think that could be really cool. And then for a frenzy, it just maybe it's 2 or 3 lines and it goes on a little longer. But that would be cool because it's like the Coinbox, but instead of going with the chaos of the spread, you have to follow a precise line, like on a dash ring or something. So I think that could be cool. And then the other one is that I do wonder if there's a way they could pull off the ghost. I know that's from another Mario Kart game, but if there was a way they could pull it off where you're stealing other people's items, and it would work in Frenzy. And that sounds crazy and OP, but it would become the only thing that would trump Coinbox is the ghost. And maybe they only give it to a character once a year. Maybe Kamek or something has the ghost. But anyway, you would be able to when you get a frenzy, it would be a frenzy of someone else on the track. So you could get a Coinbox frenzy with the ghost. You could get a Lucky 7 frenzy with the ghost.
Like you
I
absorb
think
their
it could
skill.
be really. That's what the ghost was in the
That's
original
cool.
Mario Kart.
I like that idea.
Is that you use it and it steals their item and you have it all of a sudden, just like that. And you actually disappear and can go off road. When you have the ghost, you can go off road without losing speed.
That's pretty cool.
So
I like that.
Ghost would be a game changer.
Tabor, what do you think?
Yeah, he stole one of my ideas. I was thinking the same thing. How?
Sorry.
No, you're good. That's great minds think alike. No, I was thinking the same thing. Whenever you use a ghost, you get one of those premier skills that you can't get as your own driver, and you were able to use that either as a single or as a frenzy. A couple other things that I had mentioned was like it'd be great if they incorporate Leaf somehow. I don't know how they would do it, and what it would mean, and what the potential of that would be. But it's just like Leaf was just such a huge part of Super Mario Brothers 3 that you just wanted to you'd love to see it incorporated. The other thing that I was thinking about is like in the original Mario Brothers game. I'm not talking about Super Mario Brothers. I'm talking about the original Mario Brothers game where it's you and Luigi. You have all the levels, and you're trying to run around and do the different things. If you remember, right in the smack center of the screen is a POW button. And that POW button, whenever you hit it, it turned everybody upside down and kind of gave you a little bit of immunity from getting hit by all these things. It'd be amazing if they would incorporate the POW button in the game somehow where it just like wrecked everybody around you. I know that's kind of like Super Bell and Super Horn, but it's just something that's just like more over the top, of just
Tabor. I'll give you some friendly fact checking. Actually, the Leaf and the Power Block have been in Mario Kart games past. So in Mario Kart 7 on the Nintendo DS, the Leaf was an item. It's a Tanuki tail in Mario Kart in that sense, and he sweeps it around. So it would be cool in Mario Kart Tour because when you go over a ramp with 2 or 3 coins, bam, and you get all of them. Or if you're in a coin ring, it's like a miniature little boomerang almost, and you can knock people out with it.
Yeah.
The POW block was used in. Did any of you guys remember? Was it Mario Kart Wii or 8? But the POW block they did try out. And it's almost just like a lightning. It just hits everyone once. And I think it could be cool. I mean, I think it would operate pretty similar to the Lightning in Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah.
But it's a classic Mario iconic item for sure.
No, I think having
The only other
Go ahead.
Sorry, the only other one that I was going to mention is, and I don't know how this would work, but like, you know, it's pretty common in a Mario game where you have multiple different directions you can go. You have the ground direction, you have the water direction, you also have like the clouds direction. It'd be great if they had like a beanstalk skill where you could go up and you could then race on the clouds and get like...
You just like park your car and get out and go up a beanstalk.
Wow.
Yeah, the cart goes up the beanstalk or something like that. I don't know. But there's just like, there's a secret stash of coins up there, or there's like extra item boxes up there. You know, who knows what's going on, but it was just another thought.
Okay. Hey, not a bad idea. One of the things I think that having the POW block would be a really, really good idea. The idea I had is, you know, we think about King Bob-omb's Giga Bomb, right? And how like useless it is. It's like a Bowser shell light, except for it's like just erratic. What if? And I remember when there was a while there where we were thinking some kind of vacuum skill was going to come up, and I was thinking about it.
Oh, the coin vacuum.
Yeah, you could have a coin vacuum, and I thought about that. But what if also you had like a Giga vacuum, where you had like you shot out the Giga Bomb, and then it all sucked it all up, whatever's in front of you, and there was some way that you could steer it. Like maybe there was some kind of like little arrow you could kind of aim it. So it'd be tough to like hold combo, and then you'd have to release it right at the right spot for it to go and knock out people and get coins. So I don't know, just some ideas there. But Geeves, you had a good idea, right?
Tabor was one with the power block, and I think that needs to be one. I think. For me, and these are both kind of a stretch. Is I'm kind of old school Mario. The only Nintendo system I had was just the original NES and I had Super Mario Brothers 2 and original 2 and 3, and that's kind of as far as I got before. I just didn't have Super Nintendo or N64 or any of that stuff. I would like, and I was a huge Super Mario 2 fan. I don't know if it was really well received. I really enjoyed it. I really liked Wart, the final boss. I would love it if he was kind of a character. And,
Wart and Mouser and Shy Clyde, they brought Birdo somehow. Birdo and Shy Guy became like two of the most iconic characters, and then the rest.
And I would love it. And they're kind of, with these, they kind of go on the same skill level. I would love it, like, if there was Wart, we had him as a driver, and he's just shooting bubbles everywhere at a higher frequency than fireballs and ice balls and like the 3 bombs or the triple bananas, and just
yeah, that's good. Like we all hate driving with a bubble, but what if a bubble was a weapon, and if Wart threw the bubble, it put another driver in a bubble
and put him behind you,
because we hate being in a bubble,
right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I thought it was another thing. You get them in a bubble, and like if you're like, let's say it's like one of those things where you're like 6th, 7th place, you get a bubble, and it puts them automatically behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
But if Wart's going to be in the game, then we also need to put vegetables in the game so we can throw it.
And then the other one
turnips.
I thought is, with Wendy, I was a big fan of Wendy before, early in the game, really early in the game. I don't know why. Wasn't she the one with the rings in like Super Mario Bros. Wii?
Yeah, rings.
I would love it if she's just shooting rings everywhere. In kind of the same style of the bubble, where
sounds like Sonic to me, but
where it takes someone and puts them behind you. So not only are you trying to look for, combo points and all stuff, but also position. You know.
Well, those are awesome. The thing, if I'm at DeNA, or if I'm talking to DeNA, they might say, "Well, yeah, that's great for Wendy, but." It almost is like the original Super Mario Kart, where the items were only for one character, and we'd have to think of, okay, well, who else would get rings? And maybe you can come up with 4 or 5 people.
You put Wendy swimwear out there and give her a ring.
That's actually probably the number one request that DeNA's gotten. So
absolutely.
By the way, before you change topics, if y'all are ever in an actual arcade and find a Mario Kart arcade GP. There's 3 Mario Kart arcade games. if you're at like a Dave and Buster's or something in the States, they sometimes have them or something like that. Definitely throw some quarters in, because Bandai Namco developed that in partnership with Nintendo, so it's a different approach. But there are like 100 items in that game, and when you start and pick your driver, you do a roulette of boop, 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 and it selects 3 random items that you get to use in that race. Only those 3. And there are tons. There are tacks that you spread out on the ground to pop everyone's tires. There's a frying pan that you just go boom, 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 and hit people like as you drive.
That's crazy.
There's all kinds of stuff. So I could see them pulling some items from that, because it is kind of canon into Mario Kart.
Yep. No, I love it, man. That sounds like a really cool idea. So that was part 1 of ThisBeChris's question. Part 2 is DeNA contacts you and says you have the ability to buff the heck out of any low driver kart glider based purely on your love for the aesthetics. Which one would you pick? And so we kind of already talked a little bit about our favorite items aesthetically, but thinking about it, like, what's an item that you just love the way it looks, but you wish it was buffed because it doesn't get very much action? There's some carts that I'm glad aren't buffed, like Carp Kart, that looks like terrible and isn't big, etc. But like, do you have a driver kart glider that it doesn't have good buffs that you really love using, that you wish they got buffs?
Who wants to go first?
I'll let you take it over if you want, Sammy.
I'm just thinking here. I got to think about this for a second. I'm looking. I mean, when I was thinking drivers, but then when you think of gliders and karts, there's so many that. Yeah, I mean, I have some favorites that never got used much. I am trying to think. I'm really trying to think. I mean, I always wished Hakama didn't get such a bad deal, bad hand, I guess. I know if you're a whale, and we got a few whales in the crew
Just
tonight.
a few.
Like, you guys probably have him at 6'2" anyway, right? Even though he's not super valuable.
Yeah, well, some whales will, yeah.
Yeah, some whales will. But for me, it's just like he's one of my favorite characters aesthetically. My favorite Coinbox character aesthetically. But the game has not made it so that I can invest in him, and that's too bad. I would love to see him go on a run. Like, if they slowed the Coinboxers down and then kind of like maybe Hakama ends up, because he was the first Coinboxer in the game. And they really treat him dirty in that regard. It would be cool that if in the end he's one of the best.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think for me, while everyone else is thinking, I think it has to be Wario Hiker. I hate his skill, but like aesthetically, like, he's a fun driver to use. I wish. I feel
cool.
like if maybe even multiplayer, maybe I should start using him because he's just a fun. I'm a big Wario Waluigi fan, and so I'm hoping for that one day. That's the one versus I'm looking forward to. Like, go out on the sun riding after having that versus tour. But Tabor, do you have a specific item that you wish got buffed based on your love for using it aesthetically?
Yeah, so I was trying to. Sorry, it chokes me up, man. No, I was trying to figure out exactly who that would be. I struggle a little bit. I think. Honestly, I think King Boo Luigi's Mansion is a really good-looking driver.
Yeah,
but
that's too bad.
He's just trash. He's just trash. So we all have this negative connotation toward him. But if you just look at him, I mean, we love using regular King Boo, the Super. We didn't have a problem with that whenever he was being used a lot. But but it's kind of sad on that regard. Man, karts and gliders, who knows? There's so many of these.
There's so many.
There are so many. I'm looking at it now, though. I will say, to give AussieKart some credit here, I think that Jet Cruiser, man, I wish that got more buffs. The boat cart, I'd love that.
I would put one in for the circuit special. I don't know why of all 3 circuits, the green circuit rose pretty high for a while, right? I guess it's still the most valuable of the 3, but I was bummed that those didn't, because those look so cool. They're classic Mario Kart race cars, and they're actually from the previous games too. And they don't seem to treat karts and gliders that come from other past games any more than they do random new, like, animal themed karts and random crap. Like, You would think they would, and they don't.
Yeah.
I was also going to say, I think we'd all agree that Mario Sunshine, we would all hope would not be would get a little more buffing.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Geeves, you had an answer. What you got?
I think Larry did.
Oh, okay.
Larry.
You just seconded. Okay, yeah, Larry. Larry, jump in, man.
So
It's your time
when
to shine.
Is it Larry?
to Sakara, I would then better Pauline Party time because she's not too many city tracks and not really useful for me, and she will probably be the only driver which is never Coinbox driver which is never left 7 double cap ever.
That's actually a really interesting idea if you think about it. In like, what if all of a sudden she just got some random buffs and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, out of everyone's Coinbox arsenal, she probably. I know there's a lot of people that she's like the only one that they haven't double uncapped or even single uncapped because they just never saw the need. What if they just gave her random buffs and like they just kept buffing and we were just like, "Oh my gosh!" I wish I would have thrown tickets on it. I like that, Larry. I like that a lot. I love that question. It's a good question. It gives us some ideas. Anyone else? Aussie, I see you. Big Smith, jump in, man.
Yeah, I'm going to transition to the gliders. I
Love it.
I started it, I said in March, I think, end of March of last year. I can't remember what tour exactly, but I would love it if the Hanafuda gliders got buffed. It's the gold pass reward that is, they're done doing them, but it'd be great to just have them be thrown in a little more here and there. I mean, there was that pipe in December that everyone pulled on.
I just love that this comes up every episode. We need, like, the Hanafuda corner. Welcome to the sidebar. We always talk about... Well, because I looked back at the first anniversary tour today in a new video, and I realized the Gold Pass high-end gift for first anniversary tour was the Goomba Hanafuda. That was the only high-end Gold Pass gift. I was like, really? And it's done nothing. I mean, see, where's the hidden narrative that, like, where that Hanafuda is going to end up being ultimately the one?
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, we had that pipe, and then they never really did anything. Usually, especially with the special pipes, they give you something, like even like say White Yoshi or Wild Pink or something. There's something that like they do something with nothing. So yeah, it's a great question.
At the end of the day, though, kids love, like, the younger players especially, they love, like, little things that are collectibles. Like, the blue bitty buggy. Everyone will not stop talking about how they wish they had because they weren't around for that tour. And in a few years, people are going to remember the Hanafudas. They're going to be like, I wasn't playing when the Hanafudas came out. That's so cool. I wish I had all those just for collectability.
It's the same with the blue Badwagon, too.
Yeah, the blue Badwagon.
I think with the Hanafudas, I think it is an unpopular opinion, but I think you can play that in a role if they want to split something into Gold Pass and Gold Pass Plus. Whereas if you're going to sign up as a new, as a new player account, you have Gold Pass, and then if you do Gold Pass Plus, you get all the Hanafudas.
Ooh, interesting. The value still isn't there, though. Oh, I guess they have tracks. I think the main gripe for us whales is that, we have things just for getting packs 3 times. Like, we have things at level 3, like these snow crystals. I haven't used them, but I have it at, like, 4.5 now? So, like, if something comes up with that or a Hanafuda, it's going to be easier for me to throw a ticket to take that to 5 than it ever is going to make sense for me to put tickets on a Hanafuda to get it anywhere close to anything else. So, at least, but, maybe they had some exclusivity where, like, it's like a super hard track to have the top shelf on, and, like, all you have is our Hanafudas. And you have to pick between your favorite Hanafuda, and people start throwing tickets at it. It'd be interesting. I think AussieKart, you had a response to that, too. We can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
Yep, you're good.
I was having a look at the characters. I kind of was looking at supers and normals more. They're just not getting used. Not Garrett's good book, but I think Diddy. I'd love to see Diddy just get upgraded. I love Diddy. I was such a big fan of Diddy Kong Racing. Just a quality game. It's 4. And yeah, Dixie get. And DK's got his SNES version. What did Diddy do? Who did Diddy do wrong? Like, I think Diddy deserves his time. So from that perspective, and then I was looking through. Yeah, look, not a lot. I was always a big fan of the piston glider. I don't know why. I just thought it looked like a cool.
Okay.
Nice. I'm glad someone mentioned Diddy. Kevin would never forgive us if he was not mentioned.
Well, I think we all are expecting some kind of DK alt, so having a Diddy alt would be a great way for Nintendo to just like give them kind of what they want, but also do it in their way, so that you're not going to pressure us into doing what you want. So I like that as well. All right, to kind of make a little transition, Here Are the Skies ask a question: why do people get paired with someone in ER or someone that has a top 10 badge in their ranked? Is Nintendo doing this on purpose? So I think the topic of ranked comes up a lot. We haven't talked about it on the podcast. I think everyone has been asking for an easier ranked. Last week we had a bunch of people who have all bots in their ranked. This week we have some people, even somebody here on the podcast has a few, top players on their ranks. Tell us, maybe we'll start with you, Sammy. I don't know if this resonates with you at all, but when it comes to having high competition in your ranks, is there any method to the madness? I know that you've flipped and flopped between baking and you're baking believer or not a baking believer, but what are your thoughts as you kind of sit back and have gotten a day or two to try to let the dust settle?
I'm fine with any week going any certain way. If I start to notice a trend over weeks after week after week after week, then that's one thing. But we have all, be it you and Tabor or Kevin Garrett or everyone out there trying to formulate theories of why is this happening this way? What did I do? And we're going down the whole list. Is it because I bought packs? Is it because I didn't buy packs? Is it because I bought the premium challenges? I didn't. Is it because I bought a bunch of tickets? Is it because I got a lot of tickets in my shop? Is it because I didn't get a lot of tickets in my shop? Because I did pipe pulls? Is it because I didn't do pipe pulls? All of these, is it because I leveled things up during this week? Is it leveled things up during the second week? And we rack our brains trying to figure this out. And, it's Occam's razor, the simplest answer is most likely the common one, which is that RNG is a big element. Now, I know that give due credit to Kevin Garrett and people down in the free-to-play tiers who are meticulously trying to study what happens there. And clearly, people in tiers 69 and 70 are having different experiences than people down in the 40s and 50s. I got plenty of people on my Discord who grind, and they've started late or something, but they're in the 40s and 50s, and they're getting harder opponents than I am regularly, every single week. And that's not right, unless they are trying to reward us that are at the top. But then, random times, at the top, you'll have insane matchups, and I really don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. And I think you just got to go week to week and not try to manipulate things too much with, if I do this, if I pull a single pull on the toilet while buying a high-end ticket at exactly 4:20 p.m., I will have, it'll all be fine, I just don't know if we'll ever know,
Yeah, no, I think that's honest way to look at it. I think there are some people that just want to control as much as they can control, and they wonder if they can control this. I will say, I do think that the algorithm does have something to do with how much you pay, I do think that that's the number one factor. I know I have a Gold Pass only account, but I have, maybe Gold Pass only isn't the right name for it. I've occasionally bought a Crawley Kart pack or something like that, an Abbott pack, and my rank the next 2 or 3 weeks is ridiculously hard matchups, and then eventually it goes back down. So I do think that that's the number one category, is that Nintendo does want to, keep that trend of you pulling out your wallet. So I think from that perspective, but I do like hearing, Kevin Garrett's perspective of a free to play. at the end of the day, though, it's only because you've whittled out all the variables, and all you have to go off of is just strictly you versus your score, and not getting anything else except for what they give you.
Yeah.
So I think really that what he's sensing and his special graph is probably in all of our equations, but I think there's so many the other parts of the equation for us that that end up getting something. It's such a minor part of the algorithm to us that to us it would be like, yeah, we get it, but I mean, for me, it's like I agree with you, like because I get the majority of the packs. Like I haven't had someone like I don't think I've seen someone with a top 100 badge maybe once this year, just as an example. And I know you probably get them every week. So,
me? Yeah.
Top 100.
And by the way, as for and as for the Kevin Garrett thing, I'm sure we will have Kevin Garrett on Kart Talk at some point, and he can lay all that out for us. So just so that's out there. But yeah, you're saying that buying, you think spending makes the game harder for you?
I believe so. I believe the following subsequent weeks.
Yeah. So why? But people like you or Carlos who spend a good amount, a lot, or maybe AussieKart can speak to this. Do you ever have someone you can't beat?
No, I'm saying to answer your question, no. But also to clarify what I was saying is that my gold pass only, when I don't get any tickets, don't buy any packs, and I happen to make a rare situation where I get a pack, maybe to get the rubies or something like that, it's extremely hard ranked for that account. But for me, who's getting it, and so I've kind of talked a little bit about this just months ago, is I do think that it's how is your spending last tour compared to your average spending? So it's like if you spent less, then maybe they make it I don't know easier, or they make it harder, and then if you spent more, then they make it easier the following. So I'm not entirely sure, but I do think spending does kind of tweak things where it goes from there.
It would make sense. But
I also know that like last tour you didn't get any packs; you just got the premium and the ice dozer. So maybe that was Nintendo's way of punishing you.
last week, yeah, exactly. They say in the print, they pair based on similar skill. That's the wording, right, Tabor?
Yep.
Go. Yep.
So this whole thing is trying to interpret, because theoretically, legally, that has to mean something, right? So, because we're spending money based on that information. And so I always try to think of that. Is it what you're scoring? Is it your levels? I kind of wonder about this screen right here. This is your player screen. Mm-hmm. This has got your all-cup score on it. It's got how many drivers, hearts, and gliders you have on it. It's got your highest score on it. I have to wonder if it might be that those simple numbers play a lot to do with it. What if it's based on just your highest score?
Interesting.
They're pulling from a pool of people there, and then there's a bunch of filler people, of course, and then there's a bunch of bots. I don't know why this 18, 19 bots thing happened. It's ridiculous.
So why do you think?
If it's going to happen, at least make it consistent. You know.
So why do you think you got some two people in your ranks that are scoring over 130,000?
Well, I get a tough opponent every now and then that I can't beat. It happens once every, maybe 6 or 7 tours. I'd say I'll get first for like 6 or 7 tours, and then I'll get hit once. And I find I get hit a couple times in a row often. I remember Ice Tour originally, and then like New Year's Tour last year, and then Berlin Tour this year. I got these little dips where they just hit you for a couple weeks, and I don't think I'm doing anything that differently overall. I'm doing the same strategies. It's growing and growing and growing, but I didn't do anything specifically, and I didn't even come in first last week, Yeah,
I'm curious to hear Tabor's point of view from a Gold Pass Plus account. Do you ever see any fluctuation, or are things probably a little bit more truer to the Kevin Garrett analysis?
I think there's a lot of truth to the spending. I've always kind of been an advocate for that. I'm pretty sure, because I know I spend mostly just on Gold Pass, and then for a while it was only Gold Pass because you didn't have any of the other options other than packs. at that point. So I was only Gold Pass only since day one, and that's all that I did for a long, long, long time. And I always had some, every now and then I had some tours where I had some really competitive people in there that really made me push, and really sometimes I was able to overcome, sometimes I wasn't. It just depends. And then I always saw on Discord some of the scores that people are posting about their ranks, and they just have crazy high scores, and I'm just like, well, I'm glad I'm not there. And then I started to realize that there's got to be a discrepancy between what you pay and what you don't pay. But I mean, I think I just want to echo with what Sammy said. I mean, we will never know. We can speculate. We can think that all these things are going to happen, and there's a pattern. And I think we're just creatures of habit. A lot of us have played different games that are on this same timeline of like, this is what you do and this is what happens, and here's the pattern that will allow you to be able to do this or do that. And we try to apply that on this game, and there's just so much stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't see. And Nintendo's got, and maybe they don't even understand it. They just throw it into this weird computer, and that just spits out whatever they want. Who knows? Yeah. But at the same time, we're going to try to find something out of nothing, and sometimes exactly, chaos. And sometimes it's going to work for this tour and for next tour, and then something just completely changes and something happens, and we're like, well, there goes that theory. That's out the window because I did the same thing.
Yeah, and it's hard to imagine that there's an algorithmic set that works perfectly for every player of every kind on an umbrella level. It kind of reminds. This is a really weird analogy, but you know how sometimes people pray for a specific thing to happen to them, and I always think, well, God, if he's out there, he can't literally make every single thing that every person wants happen. It doesn't make any
because two people could be praying for the opposite thing, and so you can't have both of those happening.
But moreover, if there was a way that there was something we could do to get 19 bots the next week, and we figured out how to do that, we would of course do that. But there doesn't seem to be that answer. AussieKart, what do you got? The truth is out there. Yeah. And Smith had a good point too. I saw.
Well, Smith. Hey, Smith, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, Sammy, when you said if we could get bots every week, we would have figured it out.
Yeah.
There's weeks when I would love that, but I think in the long term, I'm just dipping my toe into ACR and spending some time on that, getting into top 100. If ranked wasn't competitive, then I probably wouldn't be as into the game, because there's those weeks where, sure, there's someone that's the top 10 and I have no chance, so I start to grind for second place. But I love that. I try to, my philosophy, or what I do is I probably, like everybody, I want to get as high as I can without using any tickets. I'd rather put in the grind for hours and hours and hours when I know, and I want to hang on to my 18 driver high-end tickets, when I know if I just use 2 or 3 of them, I'd probably get there. I like that grind. So
yeah,
bots every week would be boring for me.
You're right.
Talking about not boring, Geeves, I think you have a pretty unique rank story. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, I'm a whale, and AussieKart, Studfit. We win the majority of the time, and that's I think there is and I think if you look at, if it's this whole thing is random, if you're a whale, you have all the stuff, so the probability of you winning is high. Now, there's always the opportunity that you're going to be paired with another whale. I had an incredible ranked last week. It was kind of weird because, like, I'm seeing in everyone's Discord, I'm with bots, oh, this is going to be easy. And I'm just like, really? I had someone that had... I kind of grinded early. I like to grind early for week one ranked, just to kind of see where it goes.
Sure.
And someone didn't come in, and I think I had like I started at like 99,000, and then someone came up in like 105,000. Like, oh crap! Well, not crap. I was like, wow, okay, someone's here. I checked their profile, and they were tier 70. But they didn't have any badges of top 1,000, top 100. And I'm wondering if sometimes people don't even accept them because it'll reveal. Because they have...
Wow.
They
Don't
have...
accept the
Right.
badges.
They have... When you get... The badges come as a gift. And then if you don't accept them, they expire for a certain amount of time, right?
Interesting.
So I think some people don't do that to give a big reveal. And I...
Maybe a few.
Right.
Maybe a
I
few.
will say, yeah, that's a good point. Keep going.
Anyway, I'm going back and forth, and the night before, I'm racing this guy against the clock, and I don't even know if he's stalking me or not because I'm posting on Discord, and Sammy's yours, Studfit's yours, and then ER, and be like, what do I do? And I, the last day, I spent my final 5 high-end tickets on a glider for silver, Manta silver, which I don't even know.
Oh, the silver Manta glider. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't even know if it was even worth it, but I'm like, okay, I got it, because I was behind less than 200 points.
Wow.
So I buffed,
That's crazy.
I put Silver Manta into level 7, which cost me 5 tickets. And I'm like, if Nintendo's doing this is great, because as a whale, they're keeping me in the game, and they're making me not spend money, but high-end tickets that I've, and getting high-end glider tickets in the shop is not
it's super rare.
a common thing.
Right.
And so, yeah. But
I like that. There's actually, it's interesting. So for
I
those
ended
of
up
you
losing, though.
No, you didn't. By 200 points?
What?
By 200 points?
I lost by 200 points.
Oh,
And it was the
I'm sorry to
first
hear that,
time
man.
I lost a rank. I can't even remember the last time I lost a rank. But I said, and I posted this on Sammy's Discord, I said, I don't care. This was great. I had such a blast.
Yeah.
And, that's what they need
There
to
you go.
do.
Even for the whales.
Well, that's what I wish we could. Whatever it is, I wish they could dial it in a little more, just a little bit, where it's a little more precise and exact. And maybe as the game develops, you would think they would be able to hone in the quality of the matchmaking. Like, for example, I've got Studfit, as y'all know. I've got Bashara, another ER player, but they're 30K ahead of me. So I can't even use every ticket I have and win. So I don't know what the game expects me to do. All I can do is just take a pit stop. I'm taking a pit stop this whole week. I'm not going to use any of those tickets, really. I mean, I could triple cap Ninja and take him to 7 and try it, but then the same thing would happen to me that happens to Geeves, where then y'all just do another run and beat me by a few hundred points, and it was a big waste. It'll pay off in the future, but I wish they could hone it in where it was a little closer.
But do they keep it close where you can actually move and rank and not get first, but get... I don't know what the rest of your rank looks like, Sammy, but can you, if you need to spend tickets, can you move up in place?
Well, I'm in 3rd. I mean, I'm going to make sure I hold 3rd, but Bashara is right under Studfit at 125, and Bashara says they're going for 130. That's where Studfit is. And I just can't get up there. I'm going to ward off the rest. I mean, it's crazy.
What's your 4th?
It seems
the 4th?
What's that?
Who's in 4th?
Who's number 4?
Fourth is it got 92, so they're scoring. But I mean, so yeah, I'll grind a little more and probably cross 100K and make sure I get third place.
Are you
but then it's only
incentivized
5
to use
rubies
tickets to
different.
stay in for third place?
I might use. I'll probably grind. I try to grind at first, as you know. But I have a couple options I could do if I need to. There, it's just weird that there's 2 bots this week, and I had 17 last week. There's clearly something that they're doing to, like, everyone had bots last week, and now no one does this week. Like, everyone in the Discord, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Weird.
There seem to be like patterns throughout the whole player base. Anyway.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I will say there was one driver that was brought to my attention. I think it was the KnightRoso had mentioned they saw this this player had never gotten any badges except for a top 1,000 badge, but they were getting some insane scores. Like all of their drivers were relatively normal. It would be almost like to me, what it looked like was somebody who was fed up with the game and decided to get a hacking tool and went bonkers, getting triple getting a frenzy every other turn. There's a frenzy hack out there apparently that allows you to be able to get to see. I think he got like 38,000 with like a ice bro or something like that on Frappe Snowland. So it was pretty obvious when any of these things happen. We do bring it up in ER. And if it does look like it's pretty blatant, like either the number of tickets don't add up, that they can't have that many drivers a certain level or something like that, then we'll all report them. And it's worked many times for people who are obvious. Now, we never like to accuse people of hacking. It's like one of those things you never do. But there are hackers in the game, and they pop up every once in a while, especially for All Cup ranking. They really, I don't see them popping up for ranked, but for All Cup ranking, it's actually quite frequent. And so KnightRoso actually asks a question on here. What's your opinion on hackers Mario Kart Tour? Where is there a line for playful hacking? Like there's a couple of YouTube creators that do, cool little tricks that look up, looks at the track at different angles because they can hover in the game. And what's the difference? What's the line between playful hacking and harmful hacking? Is there such thing as playful hacking? Maybe I'll turn it to you, Tabor, because I don't see Sammy right at this moment. What do you think, Tabor? Do you have any opinion on hacking?
I mean, I wouldn't do it. Straight and narrow, buddy. But it's just I don't know. I think there is some playful hacking. I've seen some of the videos you talked about. There's one guy out there who just does all kinds of these crazy videos about items, and they put usually the Lucky 7 has the 7 items that revolve around it. He has 100 Lucky 7s going at the same time, so he's just got all this stuff going on, and I mean that's kind of just a cool little experiment, but he's not doing it to increase his success in the competitive nature of the game. He's just doing it for fun, So as long as it's at that level, that's you do what you want. You can experiment what you want. If you have the ability to be able to go in there and kind of manipulate things to just, to show off or to have fun, great. But if you're doing it to, progress in the game, to be more competitive, to be more successful, to get more rewards, to get more things that would benefit you, then obviously that's a problem. I know one of the big hacking conversations came up during the very first rally tour, where it seemed like that Team Mario was just running away from it. I mean, just a huge gap over the competitive. And so people were questioning whether some guy was just putting it on, had some sort of tool in his phone or in his device that was just allowing him to continue to repeat a course over and over and over again, follow the same lines, get all these tokens, and go through all that. And maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. Who knows? But obviously, I feel like if people have the ingenuity to go into a game, hack it to be more successful, I feel like they could use that in for better use to actually be productive in society, as opposed to something where they're just manipulating a silly game that honestly doesn't mean anything in 10 years from now.
Yeah, there's some people that might have been a Dolphin or might have been, Gold Pass only. All of a sudden, they decide to go all in and go and hack and stuff. And I don't know, I I guess if you're going to go out and you're going to quit the game, I guess that's one way to do it. I just, for me, it's like I even don't necessarily like the YouTube people that show all these fun hacks, because to me it's like, I don't know, it lets people know that stuff exists, and hey, how did he do that? I want to do that to be able to do this or that. So I don't know. It's not something necessarily that I'm super passionate about it, but it's like one of those things where we do have people that are like, hey, it's Monday for All Cup ranking. Like, has anyone seen any hackers? Like, it comes up as a topic because it's just almost every tour there's just one hacker that goes for All Cup ranking and has these scores that don't make any sense. So yeah, maybe Geeves is right. Maybe someone would want to hide their specific badges, etc. Cool. All right. So it doesn't look like necessarily. AussieKart, you had a topic maybe you were wanting to kind of shift around about the All Cup ranking in the summer tour.
Yeah.
Did you run into a hacker?
That was my first proper crack at top 100, which I did achieve. Not going to toot my own horn too much.
Congratulations. Oh, that's a big achievement, man. Congrats. Oh, that's a big achievement, man. Congrats.
So, thing was, it was caught on a few servers that someone was coming, I think, 4th or 5th for a long time at the start of the tour, and put up a score of like 54,000 on Koopa Troopa Beach with Mario, like just a super normal Mario. There's no physical way, if you had a triple coin frenzy, that the score was possible. And it was really disheartening. And I think Nintendo did the right thing in the end and managed to get rid of them, but it took a number of days before someone got on top of it. And especially 10, like I know Roygo, everyone would know Roygo. He was running for top 10 hard that tour, and quite disheartening for someone like that to look on the spot. Tour was the... When did we have Paris again? Was it Paris Tour again? What was the name of the tour? Not top of mind.
I think you might be right.
Came out.
I think you might be right. Paris. Yep.
The hacker managed to get a top 100 badge. So Nintendo was too late to the party. So the person that came 101st that week, really harshly done by. So playful hacking, yes, and I think Manclaw does a great job on his stuff. I know Sammy would know his stuff well. It's great content, it's good to watch, but it's a very fine line. And I think if too many people are wanting to follow in those footsteps, but then not actually be upfront about what they're doing, really, it's the wrong way. So I think across the board, I think it would be safer that it's just no hacking at all. But it is interesting to see some of these videos, as long as they're taken lightly and they're taken from people that are using them in the right way.
Yeah, fair enough. I get that. So kind of to take things a little different direction, but kind of along the same lines. edietel asked a question. If you guys all of a sudden went free to play, like all of a sudden you lost your gold pass, you lost all packs, just starting today, going forward, with the inventory you have now, how long do you think you could realistically compete going forward? Sammy, we'll maybe start with you. What are your thoughts?
I guess it depends on how you define compete. I mean, you'd have to eventually shift into, not winning every week, being okay with that. Kind of, thankfully, there's a huge free-to-play community you can pick up some strats from. But I think that you'd coast for a while. But I mean, we've all built, even the whales. That's why you have all these lists and algorithms, and there's a lot of meta strat you can use to your advantage, even at the free to play level. So you would just adjust to a different, a different style of how often you get to win. Really, hopefully you have a huge ticket stash you can coast on for a while.
Tabor, what are your thoughts? I know you're not that much far ahead of a free-to-play player, but what if your wife just said, "Hey, get ready to go pass, free to lose"? What would you do?
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. I'm free to lose. So I think like there's still some tours that I struggle whenever the new track comes out, and I check the top shelf. There's still a lot of categories where I don't have anything, so I don't. It could be very similar to where I'm at now. It's just that, with no gold pass, I have even less rubies at my convenience of being able to get and being able to use. So I'm already pretty frugal with how I use the rubies and whatnot. But oh, he's back. We can ask him about it here in a minute. I'm always pretty frugal about how I use my rubies, so I would just have to be even more frugal. So I don't think it would change much. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would still struggle with being successful in ranked, especially not at being able to pull as much or be able to get the top shelves that I need. But I don't think it's going to be for me. I was thinking, like, and again, you guys can correct me on this, but from the whales perspective about this, I think you guys would be pretty good for a while. Even when a new track comes out, there's typically 5 top shelf DKGs on there that they show up. And you guys, even if they throw a new one on there and you guys don't have the rubies to be able to spend, you're probably still going to have at least 3 of the top shelves. And you've already invested in some of them. They're going to ride you along for a long time.
Yeah.
Before you start getting to the point where it's just the point of attrition, where you're not getting all the new things that you always like to get, especially from the packs and especially from the pipes and all the regular pulls. So I think you guys would still be good for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is actually, hadn't mentioned this on really any platforms, any servers, but I kind of struggled this past week with some motivation. I was in somebody's ranked, and actually I don't think he minds, but I was in Heroes ranked, one of my members, and so I literally just kept the score that I just did my initial run on that first morning, that Wednesday morning. I didn't touch my score. He ended up winning ranked. I had all bots. I won ranked. Everyone was happy. But deep down inside, I actually, not grinding ranked, actually made me have a little bit of a loss for the game a little bit. And I think that, and also there weren't great packs. There was this week 1 pack with Ice Mario, and then week 2 pack with Black Yoshi and the Wild Black. And to be honest with you, I thought to myself, I have 300,000 coins. What if I just didn't get any packs next tour and only had get gold pass, and maybe I just took 2 or 3 months till I ran out of coins, and I just kind of took a little back seat and just maybe helped grow this channel and the server, etc. And I don't know. I still haven't made a decision, but I actually thought how far could I go with the coins that I have, with the tickets I have, with the items I have. And just take a little bit of a break, from a spending, from a playing, and just see what happens. Maybe just do the bare minimum for all cup ranking, do the bare minimum for ranked. I don't have to be I don't have to go for pit crew chief, and I don't have to be one of Sammy's top 3 friends. Maybe I don't have to take the game that seriously, and maybe I can just get a little bit of life back. And I don't know. I'm still playing around with that idea, but I do think maybe taking a slight break. And again, I'm not saying not play the game, but today I didn't even get my daily coins. I've had a little bit of trouble just staying motivated. The only thing that kept me motivated was going for the week 2 ranked, which then I found out I was in Sammy's ranked. And I was really the 1 week I decided to go for the week 2 early. Because there's a long time where I had this superstition where I don't want to work on week 2 ranked because then Nintendo knows when I can get there. And they're going to give me someone really tough. But I was screw it. I'm bored. I'm going to go for it. So.
Yep.
All right, I have 2 last questions, and these both have to do with tracked, and then we're going to wrap up. But Hero of the Skies talks about there are only 2, GCN is at Gamecube, Nintendo. Yep. Only 2 tracks so far for Mario Kart Tour, Yoshi Circuit and Dino Jungle. Will they ever add more courses from Gamecube Nintendo?
Let's see, raise your hand in the video if you played Double Dash from the boys here. Any Double Dashers? Larry? Just Larry? And AussieKart. AussieKart's a little familiar. It's really weird why they haven't. I mean, they've used them in a lot of the other games over and over. There's some data mining out there, though. I think we'll get some more. I think Daisy Cruiser is a really great one. Perfect for Mario Kart Tour. You're on a cruise ship going into the decks and on the top, and it's a fun one. DK Mountain, fan favorite for a DK themed tour, and of course Baby Park. I don't know if you guys. So if you haven't played Double Dash, you've heard about Baby Park. It's just an oval, and in the original you go 9 laps. it's just over and over, and it's pure chaos. And
It's chaos.
so,
It sounds boring.
No, I'm just saying it's a controversial. Most people think it would be horrible to bring in Mario Kart Tour. I kind of think it'd be fun, just like something different, just pure chaos. It would be all frenzy based, like and level based. Like basically, it would be a whale track. But yeah, we'll see.
Interesting. Well, I know.
What's that? How many laps would they make it? I know. Yeah, they'd have to go up to like 5, right? Maybe 4.
I don't know.
4 minimum, because they go so fast, and Mario Kart Tour cuts down the laps from the past.
That's a good point. Hey, so it sounded like Larry was the only other person.
Larry.
AussieKart 2. I'll let you two take this next answer. Larry, what do you think?
I think they will also add Daisy Cruiser, because they usually add a lot of tracks from the game from Mario Kart 7 and this tracks from Mario Kart 7. And then maybe also have the site right now open. Then maybe also
I gotta pull
Luigi
up my list
Circuit
too.
and Mario Circuit, because they also usually add a lot of circuit tracks to Mario Kart 2. And both were in Mario Kart DS.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but Luigi. I'm surprised that we have a lot of Mario circuits. I'm surprised we don't have a Luigi circuit yet. That's a good point.
There's a great Luigi circuit from GBA Game Boy. They've been doing these glow ups, as they're called, for Sunset Wilds and now Cheap Cheap Island. They've turned out great. Both of those. They took a very flat, small course and turned it into a real course, like with hills and elevation. And they could do that with the Luigi circuit. It's one of my favorites because it's an abandoned airfield in the middle of a thunderstorm, and and it's just like a racetrack in the grass with a big Luigi blimp. And they could do something really cool with that. It's got a cool vibe to it. But I'm getting off topic. That's not Double Dash.
That's cool.
There's great Double Dash tracks. I mean, there's a Mushroom City, which is like an actual city at night. Dry Desert, too, would be one of the 3 or 4 desert candidates if they were to finally do a desert track. Dry Desert is or Egypt. But, or maybe they bring them both together whenever they do go to Egypt.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
but it's weird.
Aussie.
It's very weird.
Aussie, would you have one? Do you have one in mind from the GameCube? From Double Dash? He did. Yeah.
Islands, yeah. Maybe we'll get a new one in the tour preview that everyone will have seen by now when they hear this.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a downside.
Video, Sammy.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you definitely check out Sammy D's video about predictions for the anniversary, the 2nd anniversary. It's a big video. I loved it. Phenomenal there. Second question about tracks. This is from edietel. There's a raging debate, even as he writes this question, about the most hated tracks in Mario Kart Tour. Some that came to mind were Frappe Snowland, Luigi Pinball, Donut Plains, all contenders for this infamous distinction. But they're not alone. For edietel specifically, he's had a particular hatred for Cheap Cheap Lagoon. So, boys, which track most consistently makes you say, seriously, F this game right now? And I'm sure, Geeves, we'll let you actually start, because you had this track last week.
Yeah, I mean, mine was Frappe Snowland, and was it it wasn't the reverse, it was the regular. It was that one. It's so hard to keep a combo on that for some reason. I mean, it's not a trick level. I think that's what a lot of people I think when they say what their most hated tracks are the tracks that are hard to keep your combo going. I like Sammy's terminology. It's a thumb sore,
A finger burner.
finger burner. Yeah, it's.
Well, I use my finger though, so
I
for
use my
y'all it would
thumb.
be a
That's right.
it'd be a thumb.
Yeah,
Thumb
I use
burner.
my thumb.
I should say thumb
And-
burner.
It is. It's not painful, but it's just a drag. It's just
Try the finger.
yeah. It's just okay.
Yeah. So anyone else have a trouble with Frappe Snowland? Is Frappe Snowland on everyone's list, or what other ones you got?
my other one was Cheap Heat Lagoon because, like, again, they're tracks that are hard to keep combos on.
Yeah, I hated Lagoon at first too, but then I kind of enjoyed it just because there were for me it was fun just to try to see how many extra boxes I could get in those clams. But yeah, I mean I hated that track at first. The thing is it's really hard for coin boxes to be able to get the really optimal coin box. But that's a good point there. Anyone else? Maybe we'll start with you, Tabor.
I was trying to figure out which one I don't like the most.
I don't mind. We just talked about this due to the GameCube, but I think Yoshi Circuit is by far my least favorite track, and not just because it's a finger burner. That's one thing, but for me, it's just it's so unnecessary. Just the left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right. I just feel like I'm playing Dance Dance Revolution with my fingers or something. I'm not.
But Yoshi's not a straight line. He's not a box, so you got to follow his curve.
Studfit needs Baby Park then, just to round it around.
I want Thomp Circuit, just a big square. To me it's just it's unnecessary how many swivels and swerves. To me it's just not fun. It's one of those. I was very fortunate that I got a nice run early on. I was I'm just not touching this track. But there are a couple others that are, I would say, at the top, one of the more top of my list. Things like Waluigi Pinball, I'm not a big fan of. Donut Plains, I'm not a big fan of either. I'm actually not a big fan of Sunset Wilds. It looks beautiful, and I that's the only thing I like about it, though. To me, it's that's like a Donut Plains-esque, where it's just okay, I get it. I'm going to mini turbo my finger right off my hand. Other than that, it's a beautiful sunset. I got some cool drivers. I like the drivers on it, but other than that, I just don't like that track.
It kind of begs the question of what you do like in a track. It's almost another conversation we can have sometime, but how do you find that perfect balance of a great track design? What does it have? That's kind of the next question, I guess. But
yeah, I think actually I don't mind the turns as long as they're a little longer. So I really like Royal Raceway. That was one of my first favorite tracks. I really liked Airship Fortress, where you have these long turns. You have to maneuver. It does take skill, but it's not just left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, left. It's just not. It's not that excessive. It's all right. Here's a big turn here. All right, now there's a quick turn. All right, and a longer turn. It's just, I don't know. It's just a little bit more like musical almost, in that you have a flow. It's not just bang left, bang right.
Yeah.
Others.
Larry?
I think for me, I was just looking over the list, and I think one of the ones that I really don't like is Neo Bowser City.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I agree there.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan with
love
that.
it.
For whatever. You can have it, because I don't want
Yeah,
it.
I agree with you, Tabor. Geez, you like it though? You say?
I
You,
love
Sammy?
it.
Tell us why you like it. You like the cones? I like the cones.
Yeah, I was going to say, who doesn't love the cones?
Kind of like the cones.
Cones are great. I like it because it's a lot. It's fast. It seems to be really fast.
Yeah, some tracks feel faster than others.
Frappe Snowland, it doesn't feel fast.
Okay.
Well, I think there's a scaling thing going on. When they do retro tracks and bring them back in, there's the scale. So how big is the track? How big is the width of the track? And sometimes when they port these old tracks, I'm surprised at the scaling. Frappe is a little bit wider, so you have to keep banging out many turbos, whereas Yoshi Circuit or Neo Bowser is going to make you do that anyway. Either way, you kind of have to keep banging out many turbos in this game, but it's always interesting to see how it scales and how much space you have to maneuver factors into it, kind of like what Studfit was saying.
Yeah,
There's
good
some
points.
turns on Neo. Some of the Neo Bowser turns are really, really hard to pull off with those coin lines.
Oh, for sure. Larry, what about you, man? Least favorite track?
Of course, also Waluigi Pinball, but I would also say Rosalina's Ice World. Yeah, because it's all.
Interesting.
And the strange thing is, I like both tracks in the older games, but since we have to keep the combo, I don't like them in Mario Kart 2.
Oh, Larry, what was that? You said because you have to keep combo something? Can you repeat that last part?
Internal connection issues for me.
Yeah, we got you back now.
Sorry, hey Larry, do you mind repeating that last part? You said because you have to keep combo and Rosalina Ice Squared, I think you were talking about? I will say, maybe we can get you back in a second, Larry, but I will say I love Rosalina Ice World. I actually was really... I remember kicking myself after doing the rundown on this Frost tour. Why wasn't Rosalina Ice World in this tour? With the penguins and the ice, like it, I know that we just had it last tour, but I'm surprised we didn't have that. With all the other ice tracks we had, and you had penguins. You had so many penguins. This was like literally the Penguin Tour.
It could have been called the Penguin Tour. Yeah,
but no Ice World.
It's weird.
How crazy
is
that?
They do that kind of thing a lot. Didn't they during Snow Tour? Didn't they not have DK Pass, or they had it as the last track and they do
maybe the RT
like
or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's odd. I think they're just twins.
Speaking of, my choice. Hey, Larry's back.
Hey, Larry, do you want to? Sorry, but I'm not sure what happened. You were saying Rosalina Ice World you didn't like because you, and then you cut out. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was the only one moving on the screen that everybody was.
So go ahead. Tell us why you don't like Rosalina Ice World.
Of course, it has so many turns and it's hard to keep combo, and it's strange because on other games in Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart 7 I like both Waluigi Pinball and Rosalina's Ice World. The music, also the style of the track.
Yeah, the music. I know, Sammy, you like playing with music on. I'm a no music. I like listening to my own stuff. I didn't mind LA Labs music. That's about it. But anyone else listen to the music in the game? Anyone else like hearing the music?
I listen to my own music a lot as well, but I am a fan of the Mario Kart music. It's all pretty great. Ice World is a great track, music track. I call it a track, but man, the pinball, it's true. What a cool design for a track, but that final big open pinball area. I mean, even the best players are terrified every time you're going through there because you got to keep combo and avoid the balls. By at least, Cheap Lagoon gets a lot of the mentions on it. I do hate how the underwater messes up your line, like sometimes. But the ones that I really cannot get on board with are DK Summits. I'm sorry, but the half pipe, I can't get into it. The half pipe mechanics are too. They feel like a little unperfected, unfinished. Like they shouldn't have. If they can mess you up that bad, I mean, I know we know how to use them and how to work them at this point, but I don't know, man. The DK Summits are really hard for me to get into.
I think there's too many of them. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and you can avoid them, but I mean, it's always tempting there to get the action.
We're on Maple Treeway and Merry Mountain, and it's like, I mean, it's one, and it's, I just think there's too many of them.
Yeah, but when it... Go ahead, Doug. No, it's just going to go on and on.
I have one more nomination when you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to comment briefly on Summit. I think I would agree with you if they didn't have awesome drivers on those tracks. I mean, between like Nabbit and Shy Guy Ninja, they had Chef Mario. They had you literally can fall behind and then catch right up. Like I think it's the perfect track for a Lucky 7 driver or a Boomerang driver because you can kind of control where you are, and that is so key. So I will say using King Bob-omb like the regular guy.
That was tough.
Like that one's not as fun, but the others love them because of that reason. Tabor, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so this might be a very unpopular opinion, and honestly, this This track is probably the one that I've gotten the highest score on ever, and I hate it. And it's mostly because I hate it, because every time I have to race this darn thing, I know it's going to take up the next 5 or 6 minutes of my life, because it's so dang long. Any ideas?
Rainbow Road.
3DS Rainbow Road.
Oh, okay.
I am not a fan of 3DS Rainbow Road.
It does take a long time to go for runs, but I love it. So it's a marathon.
It's the grind down the bots that's tough for me.
Yeah.
'Cause you have to, like, you feel like you have to run and run and run. You're just like, I don't even know did I even, and then the bots are all there. They're all right back.
Yep.
No, I agree with there. Other guys,
The worst.
what do you think? Least favorite track?
Tabor stole my thunder. 3DS Rainbow Roads is so long. But then that's okay. But then also the ones that are just way too short, you know, where you just, if there's no Coinboxer on the track, you're just trying to get first place and also get as many action counts as possible, like Ghost Valley. Koopa Troopa Beach too isn't super short, but it's just boring.
Well, that's a top one.
I
Yeah.
know it's been ranked a couple times. I know there's
brutal.
some Coinboxers, but
Brutal.
ugh.
Yeah, good points there. I think the short tracks, I always feel like I'm underproducing. I think that there are like a lot of people get to like run it. There's like they're able to get better runs, but I usually play the game like in between stuff. I talk about this kind of like literally I play on the bathroom, like I play like while my kids are taking a bath. Like that's like when I play. I don't get to sit down for like hours at a time. No, I'm serious. I don't get to play for hours at a time. I play interrupted games, and honestly, that was the hardest part I had to do when it came to doing the strat of the week. Is I didn't have like I would do a screen record and then I'd have to shut down my phone, and the screen record would just be like a random video of garbage. And then like because I'm never playing a long period of time to be able to get like the right clip or the right, and so like I think on the short tracks you can just run it until you get the right run. To me, I couldn't get in a rhythm. And I think that's really important, especially on the short tracks to get all those actions. But yeah, great points there, Smith. Last, I don't think we heard from Aussie. Least favorite track? Did you go yet?
Wow.
Yeah.
Vanilla likes, of course, as well. Sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to let each of the members, again, these are our members. These are our super stud members who have joined us for the podcast. That was the last official question we had, so thank you so much for joining. I would love for, I would love some little more estrogen on this podcast. So if we'd love to be able to switch things up. So feel free to, if you'd like to be on this podcast, definitely look into our memberships. We'd love to have some new faces, some fun faces. We'd love to see you guys back. I think AussieKart, you probably had the most hot takes, but I'm sure we'll have the rest of the members trying to come for you there. But yeah, awesome time, guys. Just in case for some reason this is the last time that people get to hear from you, what's one thing that you love about Mario Kart that keeps you coming back to the game? That when you're like, you know what, I hate this game, and then like a day later you're like, you know what, I do like this game. So think about that for a second. I just want to thank you to all the members. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Tabor, for, as always, to be able to be on this podcast. We have so much fun. Get so much feedback from everyone saying that they really enjoyed it. And this has just been an absolute pleasure. So Geeves, I know you're always quick to the gun, so we'll let you go first. What's one thing you love about the game?
I think the thing that I like is just the community. I mean, it's just a great community. It's really. I mean, the game is great. I think what makes the game fun is the community. I've met a lot of great people. AussieKart. I can name a couple. I mean, Sammy. I mean, your enthusiasm really drove me, and Larry. I mean, this is your face reveal. This is great.
Yeah.
Larry. I mean, let's hear it.
And a beautiful
Larry.
face it is.
And the epic backdrop.
I think what's nice about this is the community. There's a lot we have in common. We're all kind of like a little bit older. Some of us have kids. It's a global thing, and it's just a great thing. That's what I cherish about the game. And again, I'm mentioning something that's really not the game; it's the community. And I really can't say anything more about it. So thank you, like Sammy. You kick it with your channel. I love it. Studfit, man. I mean, with that and Tabor. I mean, your guru knowledge. It's just the best combination that you can have in a game. So I really enjoy that. So,
well, how do we follow that?
Yeah, well, he did.
I'm gonna take a crap.
Podcast over. After this. Well, he did call out Larry. He did call out Larry, so we'll let Larry go next. Larry, what's one thing you enjoy or love about this game that keeps you coming back?
That it's getting over and over updates every time, new tracks, new characters, new cards, new gliders. And it's like, I don't know how long I only played Mario Kart 8, but not very much.
Yeah.
But this game I play so much. I have I think my phone says 1,120 hours.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's no game like this game when it comes to ranked and the game evolving. I think this is the new future gaming. It's an evolving community where new things are brought in. I love it, man. Good point there, Larry. Smitty, tell us about one thing you love about this game that keeps you coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. I love. I mean, I'm super competitive by nature, and so whether it's the community, like Geeves was saying, and being able to compete against each other, I like how, because the game's so multifaceted. I mean, even with the data that Tabor supplies, and that each of us are at our own spot with what we've invested in, and so the ability to control that and spend tickets certain places and make decisions with the rubies. This is my first phone game I've ever played, my first gotcha game, if you will, to where I'm not spending $60 on an Xbox game like years ago. I'm spending $20 on a pack or my gold pass. So I just like the fact that I can always compete or find something competitive, whether that's in the community or my ranked week. So.
Great point. Last but not least, Aussie, tell us about what keeps you coming back. What keeps you coming as a whale?
Being like logging on daily to potentially have a ticket to get, I'm one ticket off getting Ninja to 7. So just logging in a couple of hours' time to see if I've got a ticket there or where I'm going to spread these tickets on moving someone to 7 or double capping. I love that side of the game. It's been so different where the racing is an element, but there's a whole other added element coming back for sure. And then obviously just the excitement. The tour reveal, by the time people listening to this would have come out, but so exciting. And then leading back into that, like I love watching, whether it's a preview day one coming out and watching the videos of a range of YouTubers. It's great, and that leads into the community. Great bunch of vlogs, and it's the ultimate game to be able to have while still living. You can pick it up and play anywhere and everywhere, and I think that's the great part about it. Logged in for 6 hours having a session, you can play one race, you can play 10 races, you can do what you like. So it's a great game and keeps me coming. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Tabor just mentioned he's always wanted to be called a bloke. So this is your dream come true, Tabor. Congratulations, man. No, thank you guys all so much for jumping on. This has been a blast. I love being able to be able to. I mean, honestly, Sammy, Tabor, and I get to talk at length. So I'm glad that you guys got involved. I'm glad that we got to hear your opinion. But we had so much fun here. We talked a lot of different topics. I'm starting to like this and enjoy this more than even doing the rundown, which I didn't think would happen. So thank you guys all for joining. And I wonder if we are right at the 2-hour mark as we usually have. This flies by. But thank you guys all for joining. Until next time, may the frenzy luck be with you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you around.